Well, I woke up today with so much on my plate and so much to do, and all it did was rain. I was going to train Pickpocket and Arson a fast mile today because the plan was, and the plan is currently, to send them, those two, and maybe one other joining them, to Kentucky for Oak Grove. So those horses that are heading to Oak Grove will qualify a week from Thursday, and quite frankly, both Arson and Pickpocket are ready to go. But what's the point, as I said to Jason, what's the point of training them in the mud? We already know how fast they are. We already know that they can train. The whole point was to probably go a mile in 2:3, 2:4 with Pickpocket, and maybe a mile in 2:1, 2:2 with Arson today. That was my plan. Wanted to get a look at I Forbid You today. What a pretty filly mare she is. Good looking mare, but I wanted to get to train her. Can't train her. So Ollie and Ava came with me. We were going to play. Ollie had a baseball game this morning. His first ever game in Ohio. Rained out. He did get to get his picture taken with the team, although he's never practiced or played with them yet. He got his picture with them. Now, one game tomorrow, so Ollie had said about 40 minutes away. Of course, it would have to be 40 minutes further away from Guelph, Ontario. So a long ride tomorrow not a long ride, 40 minutes, down to play tomorrow. I can't even think of where it is. And then there is a game Monday, but because there's a long weekend in Ontario, in Canada, and not one in the U.S., the game is at 6 o'clock here, which means he's just going to get home too late at night, and he has a test on Tuesday morning. So he's only going to get one game in, and that is this Sunday. Does have a tournament next week in Sandusky. That is the open house weekend. And I'll tell you what, it's always nice to have such nice people and good people around us. I'd ask Mike, Dr. Latessa. He loves the area that Ollie's tournament is in, and I'd asked him, well, how much do you love the area? Because I may need you to take Ollie to his baseball tournament Saturday. And then right after our open house is completed, I'm going to drive to Sandusky. I won't get to see him play Saturday, but I will get to see him play all day Sunday. It's a long weekend in the States. So we'll be able to hang out and have some fun. A little bit of a hectic time, a hectic day, even though it would have been even more hectic with training. I had it all planned out, and thankfully I had Jason on my side. He had all the sets set up. 7:30 or 7:45, 7:50, 8 o'clock, 8:10. Everything was laid out in front of me. We just didn't get to implement it. So we'll carry all that training over. The Arson and Pickpocket thing, not really a big deal. I can train them off the car. They have baby schoolers on Wednesday and schoolers after the qualifiers on Thursdays. So we'll get them off the car this week. We'll put some additional horses. Born to Dance is going to need a lot of gate time just because he's very timid of everything. So we're going to use a lot of gate time for him and get him squared away. A couple other horses we want to get on the car. The horses that aren't going to need to be ready until like second week in July. There's no need for them to be drilled into right now. They're exactly, especially in Ohio, they're exactly where we want them. And it's not that Ontario isn't. It's just hard to gauge because the first line is a slower track right now. It's fine. The track is deep. It's got a good cushion on it, but it's hard to make speed with babies on it. So it's hard to gauge where they're at and what they're ready to actually do until we get them to Mohawk once, or Grand River next week. But the horses here in Ohio, we've got a good look at them. They're ready to rock. So Arson and Pickpocket for sure. And the horse to be named, it could be Activation, it could be Green Tea, it could be Memory and Imagination. It'll be a trotting colt. And unfortunately, our only trotting filly was Lover's Play, and she's going to miss some time now. She cut her leg. And last week was a real problem. The last 10 days has been a real bugger for injuries, and hopefully we're through it now. It just seems like, the old adage, it always comes in threes. Came in fours over the last 10 days, but hopefully we can work through it. It's just one of those things. So Lover's Play will not be ready. She won't be ready for Oak Grove, but we will have 2 trotting colts, I believe, and then Arson, the pacing colt. I don't believe we have any pacing fillies that are eligible in Kentucky. So that is where we're at right now. But what about last night? What went on last night? Not a bad night overall. I think looking at it on a horse-by-horse basis. Man, I hate when this iPad turns off and then it shuts me out of where I just was. Oh, I get so angry. When it comes to how the horses were, where they're at, where they're going, I was pretty happy with them. Austral Hanover yesterday, another good mile from him. I thought he should have been third. I thought he should have been a bit closer, but again, that's tough sledding. Those are tough races. No slouches here. Here it is right here. Play It Again Sports. Just got to get, Ollie's only got blue cleats for his team in Ontario. His team here is Ollie. Look forward. And nobody can see your jersey, but Ollie has a green and white jersey here in Ohio. So I'm just looking to get him some cleats for baseball. Where is this thing at? Play It Again Sports. Oh, there it is. So we're just here in Twinsburg picking up some cleats. So Austral Hanover, a little flatter than I'd like to see him yesterday, but not bad. Certainly not bad in any way, shape, or form. Another good mile, and it was muddy too. So here you are racing against age horses in the mud. Not an easy transition. You guys are seeing the problem we had at the start of this season. We haven't even got Tailgate Buzz to where we want him just yet. Just wait, Ollie, to where we got him just yet. But he's close. He's close. We got him back to Ohio. Probably going to school him off the gate Thursday and race him once before his... No, we won't be able to do that. We'll just school him off the gate Thursday, I think, in Ohio. Try to get him where we want him, and then he'll race on June the 3rd in the Meadows. So, here we go. Austral Hanover, okay race. Then we went and saw War Weary, made a break off the rail. Tough spot for a big green colt to be is off the rail. I thought he got a little bumpy coming out of the car. I haven't talked to Mario yet. We were driving around, but I thought he got a little bumpy coming off the car, and then it wasn't a shock. I was just kind of holding my breath going into that first turn watching him, and sure enough, he folded up a little bit. So I'd like to talk to him about what I saw with him. Does he need a little work done? What were his thoughts on them? So we'll talk about it. It was nothing serious either way. I spoke to Emily just briefly after about Five Fish Species and about this horse, the Caretaker, just say, hey, how'd they come out of the race? You know, what did Mario think? Because he was getting changed. I didn't want to bother him. She said Warrior, he was fine. Mario just said the same thing. Rail at this track with a big green colt's a tough place to be, and he's right, it is. So we'll turn the page on that and move forward. Five Fish Species I thought looked bumpy down the backstretch. I had sent a message out to everybody saying, hey, probably just going to send this field to Yonkers. If we're going to race on a half-mile track, London races for what, 8,000 Canadian? The other place races for 14 to 18 US, and they went in 59 and 4 the other day in a 6 or 7 horse field. Five Fish Species should likely be at Yonkers racing there. See if we can get her into shape. I wasn't disappointed with her trip yesterday. I didn't think it was bad. The last quarter for the entire race is not shocking. London's always like that. But I just think that she's more suited at Yonkers. You can't make an argument not to, other than I don't think she's good enough. Where Yonkers right now, the maidens are very, very watered down, and it is the place for her to be. So I just think it is. So we're probably going to send Five Fish Species to Yonkers over the next week or so. Cash Deals, I thought, beat fair and square. I would like to see her win. I'm sure you would have too. Tied up a little last week. Certainly didn't look like she was tied up last night. That's a good last quarter, and she got picked off fair and square. So certainly not disappointed with Cash Deal. She's got 3 wins in 2 seconds in her last 5 starts. Not a bad run for our filly. I think she'll be fine in the final also. Again, she's still going to be the horse to beat. She's handy, you can use her, and I actually think she's better off the pace. But when you're 1 to 5 in a short field, there's only one place to be, and that's likely up front. So a decent night. Turn the page on War Weary. I didn't think Fish was horrible, and I think Cash Deal's raced pretty good too. Yo Mister, big mile from him. Second beat a half a length and 53 flat. You see, they're still tinkering with his gear. I see they put a line pole on him last night. Looks like he got through the last turn a little bit better, and as they got through that turn, he really took off. He'll get better and better, more confident with the 5/8 mile track, and I was very happy with the way he raced last night. Stacy and Brett just do a great job with the horses. And then JK Victory, I don't know, a tote board malfunction or a computer malfunction, I believe. I didn't get the full rundown of what exactly happened with that race last night, but the races were canceled. So that's at least 2 or 3 times his horses had races canceled on him. I know that his first start, Ron, I talked to Ronnie briefly about the horse. He thought he should have won his first start, but he was getting stronger. His second start, again, up a class, and the way the Trace raced him, I thought was good, but would like to see him stronger. And I think they all were looking for a bigger race last night out of him. I think he was probably ready to rock, and unfortunately got canceled. So you hate to see that. It's very frustrating for us, but it is part of the world, and there's not much we can do about it. We're going to worry about the things we can change, and the things we can work on, and not the ones we can't. So turn the page on the War with Yuri, turn the page on the canceled race. We're going to have to work with what we have, and then with the other horses. Very, very happy with Austral. I want to see him win, obviously, but he's going to find some 3-year-olds next week. The week after. So I want to see Austral come forward. I want to see all our horses just start to advance a little bit. The ones that have been racing good, hold the line, and the ones that are on the way, lots of excitement there. So with that, I'll let you guys go. I hope you're having a good day. Kind of sucks. There's another little boy. Those are the cleats you want right there, Ollie. Might have to mug that little kid when he comes out of the plate to get his points. Anyway, I will talk to you guys soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.